Hello traders, it's E and it's after market hours on Friday, the last day of the trading month of February 2015. When we looked at the market, pre-market, we tried to understand where potential volatility could be today. We noticed the blue line was flatlined, told us probably expect a range trade. It was also very flat in terms of the range, very small range, and we assumed that today would be a tedious day of trading with potential volatility at the end of the day because it was month end and weekend. We thought the natural support zone should be in this 02 to 05 area and a natural resistance above it from the 10 to 12 zone. If it busted the 12s, that 11 to 12 area, then obviously that 1375 could get retested. Lacking any clear direction, we assumed that the best trade would be long side for the gap fill. That was just a common sense trade at the open. And if we got an opportunity to buy better value back in the 02 to 05, that would be certainly more desirable than just trying to smash our heads against the wall in that very choppy open in that 7-8 area. We advise caution in the afternoon. Usually there will be profit-taking swings at the end of the month or the end of the week, and that battle goes on. The double top area, one tick higher high, that resulted in pulling back below the blue line and stalling at the 8s led us to believe, especially when this bar came flying down, that this 8.5 was the key resistance and would remain so for the rest of the day. And targets became immediately the 02 to 01. And make sure you paid ahead of that 02 into that double bottom at 3.25. When the moving averages are pretty tight, you don't get a lot of information from them. They're really good in the trend, but awful in chop. So we tend to ignore them. We do want to know where the longer term average is, this pink line. And then once we got underneath it this afternoon, then the umbrella trade was certainly shaped up. At the open, we elected to use a 10-minute chart, which gave us a little bit better visibility. It had worked reasonably well yesterday, so we thought let's use the 10 for the idea of half gap and gap trade. And then we aborted at lunchtime, right at yesterday's demon, which was 11. Interestingly, if you adjust your charts, we adjusted this to a 15 a little bit later, and we could still see the same pattern, and this 3 to 2 area became a target based on that idea. And we also switched to a little bit deeper chart to 20, and some may call it curve fitting. I call it just adjusting as the market moves in time, and we already know the target area that we're thinking of based on other ideas, so we try to time these lines and the charts accordingly to see that as we rotate through time as much as price. And if you look at a 30-minute chart, you can also start to get a feel for that idea, and you can see just how stretched we were above that 30-minute chart as well. So this gives us a better idea of balance over time as well as price. We adjust the angels and demons as they change. It's a dynamic system that tells us where resistance is and where support is. And initially, the first resistance got broken slightly and reset at the 10s. It bumped into yesterday's demon. That was the resistance zone we had planned on from 10 to 12.5 based on yesterday's 11 demon, and T1 today at 1163. On the south side, 3.25 was T1. Perfect idea to make sure you paid into the 02s in the morning for the potential test of the half gap and gap, which we used at 10.25. And then the subsequent rotation in the afternoon, we finally broke the 3.25. Our target became the 01, which was T2 for today, and missed that by about a tick. So we're certainly not good enough in our mind that we know exactly where it's going. We're trying to get neighborhoods that make sense. We were in the pipe for a good portion of the day. Theoretically, Murray Math says you're going to spend about 40% of your time in the pipe. That's this yellow box right here. And we thought the red box would be the area that we'd use for our aggressive resistance. and for aggressive support, the green box. Once we break that, then obviously the O2s to 01s and a week low also are potential targets. Globex charts, we were using the 45 for most of the day. Got one tad above it right here into 11, and this bar that broke back under puts us right back in, throwing this pink line into play. And at that point we decided that obviously this could get tested and broken, and let's keep our eye focused on this 60-minute chart as well. 240s were stretched. Certainly has been working, and we noted that we've come a long way, and do not be surprised if we get a softer day with a pullback as monthlies were taking profits. Still not interpreting this as a bearish experience, just more of a profit-taking swing for those traders who had had a good month. Swing charts of various sizes. We're looking at the green line, potential support, the red line back here on this chart over here. We've been focused on this 80-82 zone as a key support area for now. And we also note how we're running into this trend line that's been pretty steep for a long time. Kept an eye on ENQs. We thought this 39 zone would be a key area of support. Broke it by in a few candles, but tails, and tried to hold that 39. We thought that would be a key at the end of the day. Like the 20 minutes by the end of the day coming into the rain line here. Had a descending triangle pattern that we spotted early on today. Said the potential was here, or it could just be rectangular. But we like the idea of a flat bottom through here and a descending triangle with a potential break to test yesterday's low. And you can see that over here in this conflict, trying to square this off as support for now. And second time back in here, this usually will hold, and then a third time through trade may or may not shape up. We'll see what happens. Certainly this bar, middle of that bar, needs to get tested, and we will do that sooner rather than later probably. And we looked over here at the daily chart, and obviously running into the green line, we're starting to stall. This is 3 days in a row with a little softness, and well deserved after such a strong month. Certainly not a bearish phenomenon at all. We need some pullback, we need some correction. Reminder about a Reinvent Yourself special. If you have interest, contact us. All the information you need is on that page. Skim through it. If we can help you with your trading, we would love to. If what's working for you right now works for you, stick with it. There are many different paths and avenues to use as a trader. We would show you ours if you have time and interest, and if not, we wish you well and hope these educational videos will help enhance your trading. This is E signing off on Friday, and may you have a great weekend.